should be can help us to maintain a good health and improve overall quality of our life. Physical activities contribute to this purpose, which help us to stay fit and in turn helps for the better run of our life. Our speaker for the day is Dr. Usha S. Nair, Dean Faculty of Physical Education, University of Kerala, and Associate Professor at Lakshmibai National College of Physical Education, Trivandrum. Let us begin the session with the welcome address. For that, I invite Dr. P.S. Parameshwaran, IQAC Coordinator, SD College. Over to you, sir.
താങ്ക് യു. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ പി ആർ ഉണ്ണികൃഷ്ണ പിള്ളൈ, യോഗത്തിൻ്റെ അധ്യക്ഷ, ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ എച്ച്ഒഡിയുമായിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രീമതി ആര്യ, ഇന്നത്തെ വെബിനാർ സെമിനാർ എന്നും പറയാം, വിഷയം കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫാക്കൾട്ടി ഓഫ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ടീം, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ LNCPയിലെ അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസറുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഉഷ മാഡം, വൈസ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ TR അനിൽകുമാർ സാർ, മലയാള വിഭാഗം അധ്യക്ഷനും കേരള യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി സെനറ്റ് മെമ്പറുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഡോക്ടർ സജയ് കുമാർ, ശ്രീമതി നീത പ്രസാദ്, അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ്, മറ്റ് അനധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനികളെ. SD കോളേജ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് വളരെ പ്രഗത്ഭരായ പ്രതിഭാശാലികളെ വളർത്തിയെടുത്ത ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ ആ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഒരു വനിതയുടെ സുരക്ഷത്തിലാണ്. കുറേ വർഷം, ഞാൻ 25 വർഷമായിട്ട് ഒരു മെയിൽ ഡോമിനേഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു, അതിന് പകരം ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഫീമെയിൽ ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ട്യൂട്ടറാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വളരെ അധികം എനർജറ്റിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആര്യയുടെ കയ്യിലാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നത്. ഞാൻ കോവിഡ് തുടങ്ങിയ സമയത്ത് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമും നടത്തുന്നില്ല, സെമിനാറൊന്നും അക്കാഡമിക് അല്ലാത്ത ഇതുകൊണ്ട് സെമിനാർ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളും നടത്താറില്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ആര്യടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞ എന്തായാലും നമുക്കിത് വെബിനാറായിട്ട് നടത്തണം ആര്യ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. അത് വളരെ വളരെ ഗംഭീരപൂർവ്വമായിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് ഈ മാർച്ച് മാസത്തിലാണെങ്കിലും അത് നടത്തുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് വളരെ ആര്യയുടെ തന്നെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിന്റെ തന്നെ ഒരു പ്രവർത്തനത്തിന്റെ മികവാണ് കാണിക്കുന്നത്. IQACക്ക് ഇതിൽ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ കർത്തവ്യത്തിലേക്ക് കടക്കുകയാണ്. ഏറ്റവും നമ്മുടെ അധ്യക്ഷയായിട്ടുള്ള വളരെ ചെറുപ്പക്കാരിയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ആര്യ ടീച്ചർ. വളരെ ചുറുചുറുക്കോടെ എപ്പോഴും സൗമ്യമായിട്ടും ചിരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രമേ സംസാരിക്കാറുള്ളൂ. കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം ആര്യ എടുത്ത ശേഷം നമുക്ക് ഏറ്റവും ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ മെഡൽ കിട്ടി, അത് എൻ്റെ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ നിന്നാണ്, അനീറ്റയ്ക്കാണ് കിട്ടിയത്. അപ്പോൾ വളരെ എല്ലാ പിള്ളേരും പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ആര്യ ടീച്ചർ ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെയുള്ള ഇനിയും സെമിനാർ നടത്തുമെന്നുള്ള യാതൊരു സംശയങ്ങളൊന്നുമില്ല. ചുക്കാൻ പിടിക്കുന്ന ആര്യ ടീച്ചർ, അതുപോലെ ഇന്നത്തെ യോഗത്തിന്റെ അധ്യക്ഷയായിട്ടുള്ള ആര്യ ടീച്ചർ ഞാൻ ഈ യോഗത്തിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ സഹർഷം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ ഈ യോഗം ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് നമ്മുടെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഉണ്ണികൃഷ്ണ സാറാണ്. അക്കാഡമിക് രംഗങ്ങളെ വളരെ പ്രഗത്ഭനാണ് ഉണ്ണികൃഷ്ണ സാറ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ കോളേജിന്റെ ഏത് പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിലും വിദ്യാഭ്യാസപരമായും അല്ലാതെ പാഠ്യേതര പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിലും എല്ലാത്തിനും ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഒപ്പം നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുന്ന പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ സാറിനെ ഞാൻ ഈ വെബിനാറിലേക്ക് സഹർഷം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇന്നത്തെ മുഖ്യ പ്രാസംഗിക ഡോക്ടർ ഉഷ എസ് നായർ, ഡീൻ ഫാക്കൾട്ടി ഓഫ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ, യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ഓഫ് കേരള, അതുപോലെ LNCPയിലെ അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസറും കൂടിയുമാണ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലെ. എനിക്ക് പേഴ്സണലായിട്ട് അറിയില്ല എങ്കിലും ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് ടീച്ചറിനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ട്. ഒരു ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഏത് രീതിയിലാണ് സമൂഹത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കേണ്ടത് എന്നുള്ളത് വളരെ മാതൃകാപരമായിട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ടീച്ചറാണ് ഉഷ ടീച്ചർ. അത് ഇനിയും നമുക്ക് കോളേജിൽ നേരിട്ട് തന്നെ ഇനി എപ്പോഴും ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സെമിനാറിന് ടീച്ചറിനെ വിളിക്കണമെന്ന് താല്പര്യമുള്ളതാണ് ഞാൻ. അപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ സമൂഹത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ഭാഗമാണ് ടീച്ചറുടെ ഒരു എപ്പോഴും ശ്രമിക്കുന്ന ഒരു അശ്രാന്തം പരിശ്രമിക്കുന്ന വ്യക്തിയാണ് ടീച്ചറിനെ. ഞാൻ ഈ കോളേജിന്റെ റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സണായി കിട്ടിയ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഉഷ ടീച്ചറെ ഞാൻ ഈ യോഗത്തിലേക്ക് സഹർഷം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ TR അനിൽകുമാർ സാർ, നമ്മുടെ വൈസ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ, വളരെ സൗമ്യനും പക്വതയോടു കൂടിയുള്ള ഒരു മാതൃകാ അധ്യാപകനാണ്. നല്ല വ്യക്തിത്വത്തിന്റെ ഒരു ഉടമയാണ്, വ്യക്തിബന്ധങ്ങളുടെ ഉടമയാണ് സാറ്. സാറിനെയും ഞാൻ ഈ യോഗത്തിലേക്ക് വളരെ ആദരപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഡോക്ടർ അജയ്കുമാർ സാർ സെനറ്റ് മെമ്പർ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ മലയാളം വിഭാഗത്തിന്റെ ചുക്കാൻ പിടിക്കുന്ന വ്യക്തിയും കൂടിയാണ്. കോളേജിന്റെ ഏത് പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിലും സാന്നിധ്യം അറിയിക്കുന്ന വ്യക്തിയാണ് അജയൻ സാറ്. വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളൊപ്പം നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ ശാസിക്കുകയും ഒപ്പം തലോടുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണ്, വ്യക്തിത്വത്തിന്റെ ഉടമയാണ് അജയൻ സാറ്. സാറിനെയും ഞാൻ ഈ യോഗത്തിലേക്ക് വളരെ സഹർഷം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ നീത ടീച്ചർ, ഇപ്പോൾ പ്രോഗ്രാം ഓഫീസറാണ് NSSന്റെ. അത് ഒരു തുടക്കമാണ് ടീച്ചറുടെ, പല പ്രോഗ്രാമിൻ്റെ തുടക്കമായിട്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ നീത ടീച്ചർ വരുന്നത്. അതേപോലെ IQSക്ക് വളരെ പറയാൻ എനിക്ക് നന്ദി പറയേണ്ട ഒരു അവസ്ഥയാണ്. അത്രയും പല കാര്യങ്ങൾക്കും പറഞ്ഞ ഉടനെ തന്നെ റിപ്പോർട്ട് തരികയൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്ന ടീച്ചറാണ് നീത ടീച്ചർ. എപ്പോഴും ചുറുചുറുക്കോട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഒരു നല്ലൊരു ടീച്ചറാണ്. പ്രോഗ്രാം ഓഫീസർ ആയാലും അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അത് ചെയ്യും എന്നുള്ള യാതൊരു സംശയവുമില്ല. ഈ യോഗത്തിന്റെ നന്ദി പ്രകാശിപ്പിക്കാൻ ടീച്ചറിനാണ് ചുമതല കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ടീച്ചറെയും ഞാൻ ഈ നീത ടീച്ചറെ ഈ യോഗത്തിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ ആദരവോടെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെയാണ് ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന അധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, മറ്റുള്ള കോളേജിലെ അധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനികൾ, എല്ലാവരെയും ഞാൻ ഈ യോഗത്തിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ IQSയുടെ പേരിലെയും കോളേജിന്റെ പേരിലെയും ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിന്റെ പേരിലെയും സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് എൻ്റെ വാക്കുകൾ നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Ms. Arya S., Head of the Department of Physical Education, for the presidential address. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
You're audible. Okay, thank you, Akhil. Respected IQAC coordinator, Dr. S. Parameswaran, sir. Principal, Dr. Unnikrishna Villa, sir. Vice Principal, Dr. T.R. Anil Kumar, sir. University Senate Member, Dr. Ajay Kumar, sir. Today's resource person, Dr. Ushama, and my organizing partner, Ms. Neeta teacher, dear teachers, students, and all the participants of this session. Good day to all. I'm glad to see that everyone is present here for the seminar. According to WHO, health is not merely the absence of disease. It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. We had been hearing from childhood that healthy body leads to a healthy mind. Maintaining a level of physical fitness and a balanced diet will prove beneficial to both your physical and mental health. Healthy body is not an easy mission. It is a fact that people of an average age of 35 years and above are now suffering from type 2 diabetes, hypertension, obesity, cardiovascular diseases. The significant reason for these lifestyle diseases are visceral fat, which is deposited around the internal organs of our body due to unhealthy food habits, inactiveness, and sleeplessness. Today, Dr. Ushanam is here to share her vast knowledge about this topic. She is an internationally renowned personality in this field and has a peerless track record. Thank you, ma'am, for joining with us. And I hope this seminar will be beneficial for all the participants. So stay healthy and be happy. God bless. Thank you. Over to you, Akhil.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Dr. P.R. Unnikrishna Pillai, Principal, ST College, for the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Respected President of this function, Miss Arya, HOD of Physical Education, ST College, eminent Chief Guest, Dr. Usha S. Nair, respected Vice Principal of ST College, Anil Kumar sir, Senate Member, Dr. S. Ajay Kumar, HOD of Malayalam, Dr. P.S. Parameswaran, IQAC Coordinator, Ms. Neeta Prasad, NSS Program Officer, dear students and participants. This topic, health and wellness through physical activities. It's a topic of great importance nowadays. As we all know that after 35, it is very common that many people throughout the world, especially in Kerala, the uh, diseases are, we are prone to more diseases after 35. That is the habit related diseases are there, especially diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, heart ailments, likewise. And the only solution to overcome such uh, diseases are through physical exercises. And there was tradition in Kerala in the distant past that people were walking for a long distance. And with the advancement of the technologies, now instead of walking, every people use vehicles. So these diseases are expressed in many of us because of the lack of proper physical exercises. Physical exercises in one way or another way is very important to retain our health and to avoid diseases. Cycling is one of the best physical exercises. If we see the case of Chinese people, in China, even many topmost officials, they still use a bicycle as one of the best way of for traveling. And now we walk early in the morning or in the evening. Evening or morning walk are actually very good exercises. And other food habits, it is very important because if we use more oily food, that definitely lead to many diseases, especially uh, this cholesterol, then high blood pressure, and such diseases develop from the use of continuous use of fatty foods. Likewise, the use of alcohol, it is very common among the people in Kerala. That actually resulted in many health issues, especially liver related and intestinal related. Likewise, this our habit is one of the major factor for retaining our health. Even though some are still actively engaged in physical exercises, but majority of the people, they are lazy and not undergoing proper exercises, and that leads to one or other kind of uh, major diseases such as or habit related diseases such as diabetes or blood pressure or cholesterol. So physical exercise is very important. We can do physical exercises in many ways. If we walk for a long time, that actually reduce our uh, cholesterol level, then sugar level, everything that normally reduce if we walk for a long time. Or if we eat less, normally there is a proverb among Indians. South Indians live for food and North Indians live uh, use food for life. It's very true in the case of Kerala people. We use more food and do less exercise. Exercise is very important. And the continuous use of food, normally we eat food for 4 times. Whereas in North India, they use food only in the morning and in the evening. They don't have the lunch like our uh, lunch. In Kerala, normally people start their intaking of food from morning till late night. So that actually leads to the development of many diseases. And after an age, normally due to the hectic schedule connected with life or jobs, normally people are not interested in exercises. So that many actually become prone to several highly fatal diseases. And this kind of webinar is very important, especially to give message among the people that proper exercise or physical activities actually help to reduce this type of diseases. And uh, our physical education department is one of the best department. And today our physical education department is under the control of a woman. And for the last 6-7 years, Arya is actively organizing many programs, and now she is the only faculty member in the physical education department. And about 2/3 of our students are girl students in SD College. So women are in some way or other ways, because due to COVID-19 pandemic, we are not in a state to organize uh, the offline programs. So now in our various departments of the college, we have already organized or still organizing many webinars of this kind. So today's topic is very relevant, and we have a very eminent resource person. She is actually Dean and Associate Professor of Physical Education, and she is one of the well-known professor in the field of physical education. So physical exercise everywhere, even in school curricula also there is a physical teacher. So in schools as well as in colleges. Moreover, uh, some students are admitted in our college under the sports quota. So we have to give preference to sports in colleges and even in schools in our state. So with these words, let me conclude my talk. I hereby declare that the program is inaugurated. I wish all the success to the program. I also uh, thank our resource person for uh, her consent to participate in this webinar, and also to deliver a talk about physical this health and physical fitness. Thank you all for the patient listening.
Thank you, sir. Now let me invite Dr. T.R. Anil Kumar, Vice Principal, SD College, for the felicitation. Over to you, sir.
യോഗാധ്യക്ഷ ശ്രീമതി ആര്യ, ഹെഡ് ഓഫ് ദി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ SD കോളേജ്, യോഗത്തിന് സ്വാഗതം പറഞ്ഞ IQAC കോർഡിനേറ്റർ ഡോക്ടർ PS പരമേശ്വരൻ, യോഗ ഔദ്യോഗികമായി ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്ത ബഹുമാന്യായ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ PR ഉണ്ണികൃഷ്ണപിള്ള, എന്തുകൊണ്ടും നമ്മുടെ മീറ്റിങ്ങിന് എത്രയും ഉത്തമവും അതോടൊപ്പം രാജ്യാന്തര പ്രശസ്തിയുള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയെ തന്നെയാണ് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയെന്നുള്ള കൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ഘാടനത്തിന് ശേഷം നമ്മൾ കേൾക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന വാക്കുകൾ ഉഷ മാഡത്തിൻ്റെയാണ്. ഉഷ മാഡം LNCPയുടെ അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസറും ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷന്റെ ഡീനുമാണ്. യോഗത്തിന് ആശംസ അർപ്പിക്കുന്ന സെനറ്റ് മെമ്പർ കൂടിയായ ഡോക്ടർ S. അജയകുമാർ, നന്ദി അർപ്പിക്കുന്ന നീത പ്രസാദ്, എത്രയും ബഹുമാന്യരായ അധ്യാപകരെ, വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനികളെ, നമ്മളേവരും കാതോർക്കേണ്ട, നമ്മളേവരും അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു വിഷയമാണ് ഇന്ന് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് SD കോളേജ് തിരഞ്ഞെടുത്തതെന്നുള്ളതിന് ആദ്യമേ തന്നെ ഞാൻ ആര്യയെ അഭിനന്ദിക്കുകയാണ്. കാരണം അതിന് പറ്റിയ എന്തുകൊണ്ടും സ്കോളർലി ആയിട്ടുള്ള രാജ്യാന്തര നിലവാരത്തിൽ ധാരാളം സെമിനാറുകൾ എടുത്തിട്ടുള്ള സംസാരിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയെ തന്നെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നതിലുള്ള നന്ദിയും ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ ആര്യയോടും ടീച്ചറിനോടും പറയുകയാണ്. മറ്റൊന്നും കൊണ്ടല്ല, ഇന്ന് കോവിഡ് പശ്ചാത്തലം കൂടെ വന്നപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും നമ്മളിൽ ഓരോരുത്തരും പ്രിൻസിപ്പൾ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ആളുകളുടെ ഇടയിൽ ഒരു എക്സസൈസിന്റെ കുറവ് അനുഭവപ്പെട്ടു തുടങ്ങിയ ഒരു കാലഘട്ടം കൂടിയായിരുന്നു ഈ കോവിഡ് പശ്ചാത്തലം. അപ്പൊ അതിൽ നിന്നെല്ലാം ഒരു മുക്തി നേടുന്ന ഒരു പുതിയ യുഗത്തിലോട്ട് നമ്മൾ പ്രവേശിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഭാവി തലത്തിൽ അല്ലെ നമ്മുടെ ആരോഗ്യത്തിൽ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കേണ്ട കാര്യങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ച് അറിയേണ്ടത് എന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു സെമിനാറാണ് ഇന്നിവിടെ നടക്കുന്നത്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഈ സെമിനാറിന് എല്ലാ ഭാവുകങ്ങളും നേരുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, I invite Dr. S. Ajay Kumar, Senate Member, University of Kerala, for the felicitation. Over to you, sir.
ബഹുമാന്യയായ അധ്യക്ഷ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ആര്യ, ഏറെ ആദരണീയനായ കോളേജ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പാൾ ബഹുമാന്യനായ ഉണ്ണികൃഷ്ണപിള്ള സാർ, ഇന്നത്തെ റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സണായിട്ട് എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള ബഹുമാന്യയായ ഉഷ ടീച്ചർ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട അനിൽകുമാർ സാർ, പരമേശ്വരൻ സാർ, നീത അടക്കമുള്ള അധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ ഓൺലൈനായി സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനികളെ, കോളേജിലെ 12 ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഉള്ളതിൽ കോളേജിലെ മുഴുവൻ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളുടെയും ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് എന്നുള്ള മഹത്വമാണ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിനുള്ളത്. ബാക്കി ഒരു ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിനും അങ്ങനെ ഒന്ന് അവകാശപ്പെടാനില്ല. കോളേജിലെ മുഴുവൻ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളുടെയും ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റാണ്. അത് ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് നിന്ന് നയിക്കുന്നത് ആര്യയാണ്. ഇതൊന്നു കോളേജിലെ ഏറ്റവും ചെറുപ്പക്കാരിയായ അധ്യാപക കൂടിയാണ്. 1-2 പേർ ഒഴികെ. ഏതായാലും ഇപ്പോൾ ഇത്തരം ഒരു സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ ഇത്തരം ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ ആണെങ്കിൽ കൂടി കുട്ടികൾക്ക് അങ്ങേയറ്റം പ്രയോജനം ചെയ്യുന്ന, കുട്ടികൾക്ക് മാത്രമല്ല, ഇത് അധ്യാപകർക്കും പൊതുജനങ്ങൾക്കുമൊക്കെ അത്യധികം പ്രയോജനം ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു പരിപാടിയാണ്. നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി മാത്രമല്ലാതെ സമൂഹത്തിൽ കൂടി ഇത് എത്തിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുന്ന തരത്തിൽ ഒരു ജനകീയ വെബിനാറായിട്ട് തുടർ കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ 2 മാസം കൂടുമ്പോഴോ 3 മാസം കൂടുമ്പോഴോ ഒക്കെ ജനകീയ ആരോഗ്യ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം എന്ന നിലയിൽ SD കോളേജിലെ ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിന് ഒരു വലിയ ദൗത്യം ഏറ്റെടുക്കാൻ കഴിയും. ഉണ്ണികൃഷ്ണ സാറും അനിൽകുമാർ സാറും ഒക്കെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ നമ്മുടെ ആരോഗ്യത്തെ സംരക്ഷിക്കുന്ന, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയുന്നത് പോലെ ആരോഗ്യത്തെ സംരക്ഷിക്കുന്നതിൽ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒന്നാണ് പരിശീലനം, അഭ്യാസം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എക്സർസൈസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ തമാശ ആയിട്ടെങ്കിലും ഇപ്പോൾ പറയാറുണ്ട്, പകല് റോഡിലുള്ളതിനേക്കാൾ ആളുകൾ വെളുപ്പിനെ റോഡിലുണ്ടാകും എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ഇട റോഡുകളൊക്കെ നിറഞ്ഞാണ് ഒരു വെളുപ്പിനെ 4 മണി മുതൽ ആളുകൾ നടക്കുക. ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള നടപ്പ് ആരോഗ്യത്തിന് വളരെ ഫലപ്രദമാണ് എന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഡോക്ടർമാരുടെ നിർദ്ദേശമോ അല്ലാതെ നമ്മളുടെ വിശ്വാസമൊക്കെ അനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മളങ്ങ് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുകയാണ്. ഞാൻ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചത് നമ്മുടെ ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷന് ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആളുകളെ, പൊതുജനങ്ങളെ, വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ മാത്രമല്ല പൊതുജനങ്ങളെ ഇക്കാര്യത്തിൽ ഇത്തരം പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ഉപയോഗിച്ച് ആളുകളെ അവിടെ വിളിച്ചു വരുത്തേണ്ട എന്നുള്ളതല്ലല്ലോ. ഈ ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലാവുമ്പോൾ പൊതുജനങ്ങൾക്ക് കൂടി പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുന്ന രീതിയിൽ പരിപാടിയെ ഒന്ന് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയും. 3 മാസം കൂടുമ്പോഴോ ഒക്കെ ഒരു പരിപാടി ജനകീയ ആരോഗ്യ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം എന്ന പേരിൽ ഓൺലൈൻ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ ഏറ്റെടുക്കുന്നതിനുള്ള നടപടികൾ ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷന്റെ ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്നുണ്ടാകണം എന്നുള്ള ഒരു നിർദ്ദേശമാണ് എനിക്കുള്ളത്. എനിക്കൊന്ന് സർവകലാശാല അത്തരം ഇടപെടലുകളൊക്കെ നടത്തുന്നുണ്ട്. അതിന് നേതൃത്വം കൊടുക്കുന്ന കാര്യത്തിൽ ഉഷ ടീച്ചറും ഒക്കെ വളരെ സജീവമായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ആളാണെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. ഏതായാലും ഉഷ ടീച്ചറിന്റെ വാക്കുകൾ കേൾക്കുന്നതിനാണ്. അതൊരു അറിവ് മാത്രമല്ല, ജീവിതമാണ് പറയാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുക. നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും ഫിസിക്കൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷന്റെ മീറ്റിങ്ങുകൾ സംസാരിക്കേണ്ടി വരുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ സൂചിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വാക്കുണ്ട്. മനുഷ്യന്റെ ജീവിതത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ അച്ചീവ്മെന്റ്, നേട്ടം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സ്പോർട്സ്മാൻ സ്പിരിറ്റ് ആണ്. അത് സ്പോർട്സ്മാന് മാത്രമുള്ളതല്ല, മനുഷ്യരായി ഒരു സമൂഹത്തിൽ ജീവിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവരും പാലിച്ചിരിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു ജീവിതം. അതുകൊണ്ട് കായിക വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം ജീവിതമാണ് എന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്ന ഒരാളാണ് ഞാൻ. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഉഷ ടീച്ചറിന്റെ വാക്കുകൾക്കാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ കാത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ ഒരു ആശംസ പറയാൻ സമയം ഞാൻ എടുത്തു എന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. ഒരു ആശംസ പറയാൻ കൊണ്ടുപോയി എന്നുള്ള ഒരാശംസ പറയാൻ അവസരം തന്ന ആര്യയോടുള്ള എല്ലാ സ്നേഹവും നന്ദിയും ഞാൻ അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ പരിപാടി എല്ലാ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളും ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന മുഴുവൻ പേരും തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും പൂർണ്ണമായി പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുത്തുമെന്ന കാര്യത്തിൽ യാതൊരു സംശയമില്ല. ഈ പരിപാടിക്ക് എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും നേരുന്നു. റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സണായിട്ട് ഇതിൽ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിട്ടുള്ള ഉഷ ടീച്ചറിനെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് കോളേജിന് വേണ്ടി ടീച്ചറിനെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞു. സർവകലാശാലയുടെ പേരിൽ ടീച്ചറിനുള്ള എല്ലാ സ്നേഹവും ആദരവും സ്വാഗതവും ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ചുരുക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your words. Our invited speaker, Dr. Usha S. Nair, is a Dean Faculty of Physical Education and has also graced the Physical Education Department of Lakshmibai National College. And she has also inspired and mentored many generations of students, helping them to meet success with her selfless efforts and dedication. She got her master's and PhD in physical education from Jivaji University, Gwalior, and she is also a certified fitness instructor from Western Ontario University, Canada. She has also worked in several positions and became the Senate member of University of Kerala in 2019. Also, the member of Academic Council of Sports Authority of India in 2020. She's also specialized in volleyball and exercise physiology, and her areas of interest are fitness, women, and health. We are indeed privileged to have you here, ma'am. Now let's listen to her words. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Akhil. Most respected Miss Arya, I'm so proud to see that because hope I'm audible. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Okay, Arya,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am,
proud
you're
of you. I'm proud of you. So happy to see you go. You're presiding. That's great. I'm so happy. I love you so much and happy to hear good words about you. And you're blessed to have the principal, sir, Dr. Unikrishnan, sir, the vice principal, Dr. Anil Kumar, sir, Ajay Kumar, sir, the Senate member, and we have Parmeshwaran, sir, and Madam Neeta, and all my dear students and participants. Indeed, I'm feeling so happy because a person from sport trying to speak about sport, but I find as other subject teachers talking high about physical education. That's something great. So thank you so much. I think you have said half of this presentation which I'm supposed to speak. So my job is very less right now. Anyway, I start off with, and I request, oh my God, hope my presentation, please give me a minute. Please. Presentation is on. Please give me 2 minutes. I'll just get with my presentation. I've lost my presentation. There's some problem with it. Yeah, I just tried it. There's some problem with my presentation. No, I'll just try to share it again. I missed the earlier one. Something which is happening to this. My God. What's the problem? Just please give me 1 more minute time. How do I share the presentation? Can you just guide me in this? Because it's the entire screen. Presentation is not seen. It's not coming in. I don't know what's the problem. Oh, I'm sorry, extremely sorry. My presentation, some problem is happening here. Tell me, how should I share this?
Ma'am, ആദ്യം ചെയ്തിട്ട്
PPT open ചെയ്തു പക്ഷെ നേരത്തുള്ള PPT പോയി. Now the problem is present now. ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും Zoom-ലാ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Present now. Window. Yes. പിന്നെ പക്ഷെ വിൻഡോ എന്റെ കാണുന്നില്ല. How do I do this? I just forward. I don't know. I'm unable to present. There's some problem. I can't see it. Shall I forward this to you?
Okay.
Can you kindly share this? Because I have some problem. Some problem with this. I just forward this. If you can play it, it's good. I usually do it on the Zoom, so my problem is there. Arya, can you share this? Okay, now before I start off with this, I'd just like to start off. I'm so extremely sorry.
Ma'am, എനിക്കൊന്ന് അയക്കാം ma'am.
ഞാൻ അയച്ചു. I will try it again. ഞാൻ അയച്ചു.
Okay, ma'am.
I will just try it. I'll try again. Present. No. There's one presentation which I wanted to share. Anyway, I'll share this then. There was another presentation I wanted to share. This is not the one. Anyway, I'll share with this. I'll send you another one.
Okay, madam, we can see it.
Now you can see it.
Ma'am,
Fine.
yeah, ma'am, we can see your screen.
No problem, madam. We can see it.
Fine. So it's okay.
Please
Thanks.
continue. No problem.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Is it okay? Actually, I wanted to come because my presentation, I have one of the presentations missed out. This is another one. So the one is I want to bring out the human rights, because now participation of physical activity is considered a human right. And as all the principles and all had rightly mentioned, the need for being active, because if you happen to see here, you find there's a lot of problems which have come in, especially now during pandemic, during COVID. The importance of physical activity has actually, people have started realizing it. But in spite of all that, sedentariness has increased so much. That's one of the major problems. And now they have, from the National Institute of Aging, the director has said, if exercise could be packed in the pill, this is the most wanted pill which should be there. But a very interesting thing, if you look at the picture image here in this, you look at the image, you'll find this people on the street or children on the street playing. Very interesting. Now, if you look at the streets, they are nearly empty. You don't find children playing with this. This is what you happen to see. So, in view of the prevalence, global reach, and health effect of physical inactivity, this has been described as pandemic because physical inactivity is the fourth leading killer. It has got far-reaching health, economic, environmental, and social consequences. Now, when we talk of this, why do we say physical inactivity? Now, people all talk of inactivity, and as a nutrition sir rightly pointed out, in terms of the state of Kerala, or you talk of Indians itself, we find as Kerala, often I say it's a heaven in the world because you don't find any problems as such, but people are able to live a smooth life. And when we look of inactivity, physical inactivity is the fourth leading cause of death. If you look at the thing here, high blood pressure, it's up, tobacco is anyway decreased right now, and blood glucose, but you find fourth is physical inactivity. Another interesting feature here is, what about those with high income, middle income, low income? You also find that the low income group are also affected the same way. We often find it is only the high and the middle.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Low. Yes, please.
Ma'am, sorry to intervene. Ma'am, can you please make this in slideshow? Because so it will be more
It's in
clear.
slideshow.
No, you have just selected the slide. Yeah, can you please select the option of slideshow?
No, you can't see it like that. Oh my God.
Yeah, we can.
For me, it is a slideshow. I have taken it to slideshow mode. You can't
Yeah,
see?
okay. Yeah, we can see it, but it's very small actually. We can see the slides instead of slideshow.
I put the slideshow only. Arya, is it possible? Did you receive it? Can you play it from your side? Actually, I'm not used to this Google Meet. We use the Zoom. So that's one of the problems I'm having right now. Arya, did you get it? Can you
No, it's
share
okay,
the
ma'am.
slide?
It's okay, ma'am. Sorry, you can continue. You can continue. We can make.
No, if she has got that slide, it's better. I would prefer to show that slide.
It's okay, ma'am.
No, do you have it with you? I've sent the mail to you if you can get that. I don't know because I can see it on the I have taken it on slideshow. You want me to do it again? I don't know. You can't see it on
Ma'am,
the
excuse me, ma'am. There is an option slideshow which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from your left side.
Yes, I clicked the slideshow, then I came to the beginning.
And just press any active in the notice.
Oh my God. Okay, I stopped sharing. Okay. Some problem with this. I'm not. I stopped sharing, but it's not. Okay. I don't know how to get back. I'm sorry. I'm feeling it so bad.
Ma'am, you have to open the file first. Open the file first and then do share.
I have done that. I have done what is said because I this is not the first. I've Googled it. Usually I do it, but this is the first time I'm having this problem. Now the problem is I've stopped sharing. Still, can you see the slide?
No, we can't see the slide now.
Okay. Okay. I'll just see if we can get into the Google Meet. Okay. I have taken present window. I've opened to the window. Take this slide share. Now from here, you have told me I go to the slideshow and I click the slideshow. I went from beginning. Is it okay?
We can see the slide now.
No, now he said what did he say? I have done like this, but still I don't know why. Now is it okay?
That's okay, ma'am. That's okay. That's fine.
Okay,
I'm
madam.
sorry,
Okay,
anyway.
madam. No problem. Now
Yeah.
we can see.
Okay, thank you. Well, though, I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm getting disrupted anyway. The global epidemic of physical inactivity, I think, is very important to understand. And that's why actually we have a PN community coaching program. And we do have a lot of international experts who come and give a session. And we found that, in Brazil, there was one of them, a doctor. For the past 10 years, he has moved Brazil, made Brazil a Sao Paulo fit city. And now they have got an award from the World Bank because the non-communicable disease actually decreased. So the health cost decreased. Now the World Bank has happened to give this. That's how it has come. Anyway, the burden of inactivity, I think you all of you are aware. Physical inactivity is the fourth leading cause of death. And why is it so? It's already been mentioned because of the heart disease, stroke, diabetes, cancer. And actually, these are preventable deaths. That's an important aspect to be understood. And Now, I think you all are aware of all this. What are the risk factors? You are aware of this. Now, already mentioned here, health is not just your absence of disease, sickness. It's much beyond it. It's how mentally alert you are, how physically fit you are, how socially get along well, how emotionally good you are. Finally, you are. It's a life lessons, which actually, as Ajay Kumar sir mentioned, it's preparing for life is actually what, and this is what talk is wellness. Biggest problem in our society are not caused by bacteria or virus. They're caused by neglect and abuse to our body. Our body is, the more you use it, the better it becomes. The lesser you use it, it gets rusted. Now, choice is yours. Here we find we have actually we're having a P program, and I have to tell you, nearly 10,000 women teachers registered, and yesterday also had a session in the morning where we had 10,000 from across the country. It crossed 10,000, but thing is, we had taken a Zoom of that. So my question here is, here then today I had an aerobic session for nearly 1,100 join. But I was just saying, here you have to ask people to come and join. You have to ask them. While I was told in Germany, in Canada, people said, we don't give advice. People have to take it up. It's something which is voluntary. Before I start, let me just give you a briefing. I am no one to speak about it. See, we are so lucky. We need to express our gratitude. We are lucky, we are blessed that we are born normal. And we are so far healthy. You find COVID, how many people have been affected by COVID? In spite of all, they're still healthy. So what is that we are doing to actually paying gratitude? What respect do we pay to our body? Have you ever understood this? For example, you buy a vehicle or buy anything which is expensive. It is so particular to protect it, to see that how best it endures. But did you ever realize about our body? What is it we are doing to protect it? Are we giving its whatever it's needed, that needs? That's something which is really need to be asked for. So we need to express gratitude. That's again important. Thank God early morning that we are blessed, we are okay. And that's what we need to tell. And what we need to take again in mind is invest in the right direction, because that's actually what is expected for our body. In which what all do we need to invest? So here I said, as I said, biggest problem is not because of bacteria, because of neglect and abuse your bodies. The more we use it, the better it becomes. The lesser use it, it becomes rusted. Why choice is ours? Because if you choose to remain, as I was saying, I won't say lazy, to remain in a particular way, to enjoy the lifestyle without moving. Our body is meant for movement, without spending energy, without expending the energy. Because remember that it's going to lead to harmful consequences. Sedentary lifestyle is inactive lifestyle, high-fat diet, smoking, alcohol. I think people all talk of inactive lifestyle. That's there. And I think during COVID, everybody had a fear of COVID. Now, when we talk of a COVID, just because we know it's a virus, we find there is some symptoms seen. But can you think of sedentariness or other ailments which we can't see? For example, you're on a cliff, and you know that if you take a step ahead, you'll fall down. But certain cases, you don't know what the limits are. So it's something which is silent. And this is actually what happens when we don't take care of our body. So sedentary lifestyle, high-fat diet, and people are really worried because we are what we eat finally. Smoking is much more harmful. If there's anybody who's smoking, my first thing is please quit smoking rather than doctor telling you right away. I think you are no other way. Drinking is taking of alcohol, as so rightly pointed out. So people take alcohol for a social purpose. Like we were also outside, we found women, men, all of them have it, but they know how to use it here. So I'd say no to both of these. In effective ways of dealing with stress, we find that our stress is the worst. Think of people who have so much of a problem. They never speak of the problems. No, you just visit cancer hospitals, visit certain places, and then we'll realize we are blessed because we are much better off. Like my father was saying, a man was crying for a pair of shoes until it's a man without feet. So I think all these could damage our bodies and lead to hypokinetic. So the long short medicine is exercise, and exercise does wonders. Actually, I take my regular pill or my vaccine or my medicine. My medicine is exercise, but it's a bitter medicine. It's not a sweet medicine. And the vaccine or medicine which I take, I would take it every day, because if I did not do an exercise today, I find, my God, I think I'm not taking my medicine today. And that can help me to protect myself, so minimizing the risk. Why am I doing exercise? Because I know my parents, they have a risk because they are hypertensive, they have heart problems, prone to be diabetic. So I have the risk of having it. So when I know that already I'm at risk, I need to take necessary measures so that I could minimize the intake of medicines. There's no guarantee that as long as you exercise, nothing is going to happen. I don't say that. But at least you can minimize the risk. So the long shot vaccine is exercise, but everybody knows exercise is important. They said it's only 24 hours a day. There's no time, is what they say. But when the doctor says, I think you have no option but to exercise, they would exercise for more time. That's the biggest thing. From prevention, if you can take care of, it can do wonders. So I think it's important to get people moving. For example, I don't know how many of you are sitting or lying. And during COVID, I think sedentariness has reached to such an extent because on the when you're taking a class in the in this maybe a digital way, we can't see the person. Sometimes you find maybe people who lie down. When you're lying down, you're spending the least energy. But if you stand up, you're still spending more. So our body is basically meant for movement. So we're involved in a variety of activities, even besides the normal activities that we happen to do. Now we have exercise as medicine on campus. I think we talk of Australia, talk of US, and even in India, there are some places where they started off. Even I tried to put up a case even in the University of Kerala. Why don't we start thinking, why don't we prescribe exercise or have exercise as medicine on campus so that our students and all the staff and faculty, everybody can be healthy. They can take this dose of exercise as medicine so that you can prevent from taking medicines external. You can minimize that risk. Physical activity is any bodily movement which actually results in energy expenditure. For example, you're sitting inside the room and if you find the lights and electricity is not there, you sweat. But you do an activity and you sweat. There's a difference in sweating of the both. One is which is therapeutic. When you do an activity and sweat, actually that is therapeutic. Physical activity is the first line of defense. And it is much healthier, safer, cheaper, more effective, and much more efficient than taking drugs because drugs might have a side effects. But see now the greatest difference. Why is it so? In terms of death, there's a 20 to 35% of the risk can be minimized of death through physical activity. Heart disease can be minimized by 20 to 35%. Stroke, can you imagine a stroke? Stroke means where if you have blood flow to one half of the brain will decrease, known as a stroke. But what is seen here? And I will again give another piece of advice. Our body is so sophisticated, a supercomputer which keeps giving us signal. For example, a warning signal. So listen to a body's warning signal and act accordingly so that things doesn't worsen. For example, if it's a stroke, you find, I can just go to one example, one of my relative, he had a stroke, he was trying to put this, after having his bath, he felt his tongue wasn't, he couldn't speak fluently, and then he tried putting his munda, he could not tie, he felt there was some problem, he understood it was stroke. 2 to 3 times he got this. But he ignored saying that, no, I think I'm very active. I don't think he can ever come to me. And the 4th time it became so severe, he collapsed. So now it's very important to understand, as soon as we get body signal, any such signals, there's no harm in recording, at least having a health book, writing our day-to-day things in our health book, so that at least we'll know whether everything is okay. Because initial stage, if it's a borderline, it's very easy to recover. So exercise prevents from the it can be one of the best medicine even for prevention of stroke. Diabetes, we have type 1 diabetes, we say absence of insulin. Type 2 diabetes, it's insulin resistance. For example, like I always say, I teach you take aerobic session, I say you take a blood test before, after 15 minutes of aerobic exercise, again take the blood sugar. You find your blood sugar simply come down. What a magic pill it is. The third one is gestational diabetes during pregnancy. And like when I was in Canada, in the physical health department, we had almost 16 labs, of which one lab was exercise and pregnancy lab, where the pregnant women would come, she would walk onto the treadmill, 40% of her VO2 max to prevent from gestational diabetes. Because in gestational diabetes, once she delivers, the mother gets rid of the problem, but the baby runs the risk of being diabetic at a later stage. So when you talk of type 2 diabetes, I think this is something which is really preventable. In the world, India, Kerala is a capital of diabetic capital city. Colon cancer, 30 to 50% can be minimized. Breast cancer, 20%. Hip fracture. Now I do exercise. I say, like I'm trying to motivate, as I was telling, I'm trying to motivate and trying to enter a service. You get maximum women being active because the risk of women is much more, which she doesn't realize. I'll come to that part as soon as I finish this. And but I'm finding it very difficult to motivate people because they want somebody to come in. People are not thinking that it's their own need. One has to decide for themselves. Depression is again an important factor, but I think definitely exercise 20 to 30% of it can minimize hypertension. So you can know what wonder drug is physical activity, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, functional limitation, prevention of falls, osteoarthritis. All these you find it's a great. There are a lot of evidence which prove that. I just speak before I come to this. I'll just try to narrate, tell you something as attorney of a women because I'm trying to put this message across to everybody. For example, let me talk of a girl child once she grows up, and the first time a girl attends a menses is known as menarche. During my time, it was 16 years. Now, do you know what is the age of menarche? Come down to 9 years. And this early menarche is not considered to be a normal menarche. These girls who have early menarche are prone to high risk of breast cancer. We had an oncologist from US who came, and she was telling me, I think you should go talk to school, go to the schools, give a talk to the parents. Let us save the girl child. So then what happened was I just took up a research with the girls who are coming for physical activity in our college. And I found that still their menarche age was 11 and 13 years. I felt besides other factors, you may say nutrition, genetics, or whatever factors maybe, physical activity could be one factor. So let us provide some opportunities, access to our girl child so that we can save our girl child. That's the first thing in terms of this. Now, as the girl comes over, maybe she's getting into her teens, just into the adolescence and youth. College girls, one of the major problems these days are underweight. I gave a talk recently in the health radio. I was talking about this. You find this many are wanting to slim down. They are coming down to the standards of the norms that is expected by society, want to be accepted by the others at the cost of their own health. So the easiest way of thinning down or slimming down is by not eating food that is undernutrition or low energy availability. But what happens with this? You find them very sick. Now you go and see in the hospital, those who are sick also lean and thin. Here people have food, but they wouldn't abstain from eating. So in this case, these girls, once they get married, they would have difficulty in conceiving because the hormone they have suppressed, low energy availability because of dieting or less intake has resulted in suppression of the hormone and also has affected the bones. So this can have a long lasting effect. So accept the body in whatever size and shape it is my message. And since you are an ecologist, you can always put this message across. And then coming to midlife is depression is a very important thing. And these, I think we all, and this digital world, even at home during COVID, everybody are around, everybody has got a mobile and they are in WhatsApp of their own. I don't know how much of closeness or communication has persisted even during COVID. So I think there's enough of journey and then menopause. Then comes with menopause. So below 40, men at higher risk for a heart attack. Above 40, women at a higher risk. And remember, we are blessed as long as we have our estrogen or the female hormone. The day it is being withdrawn, be ready for all crisis. And that comes with the osteoporosis too. I would like to introduce you to this person. Actually, he's a person who invented exercise, Jeremiah Morris, a medical doctor who was in India, but at that time he was not taking up these studies. He was only working as a medical doctor. But once he went back to London, what he found was, he just found that the number of, there they had the red bus. This study is known as the red bus study, epidemiological studies which were conducted in 1953, found that a heart attack was more among the drivers as compared to conductors because the conductors had to walk up and down because it was a double-decker bus. And that's the first studies which came. That's why Jeremiah Morris is actually known as the person who invented exercise. And also, secondly, he remained active. He wanted to cross 100 years, but before reaching maybe about 2 to 3 months, he could not continue that. He's a cycle to the university, and he's a person who practiced what he preached. Double-decker bus, that's the first study of Professor Jeremiah Morris. And then physical health. I'll just rush through because I think there's less of time. How physically fit you are. My first question often I ask is, how healthy are you? How fit are you? Physically fit doesn't mean that you just wear a tracksuit and t-shirt. Anybody wearing, I think, a tracksuit t-shirt, you feel comfortable and you look fit too. What is outside is not what is inside. How fit is your heart? How fit are your lungs? I think during COVID, people have started testing the lungs fitness too. How strong are your muscles? How strong are your bones? How strong are your joints? I think everything you'll have put into. How's about your body composition? Putting all together is actually what is physical fitness. So if one of the question asks, do you love your heart? Do you love your brain? If you love it, you should say, yes, I love it, because it's important to speak out for yourself what it is, rather than somebody else telling, I love my heart. How fit is your heart? I think one of the major problems with the heart, you all know of it. It's known as atherosclerosis, clogging with the coronary arteries, resulting in a block. And when you talk of this, heart attack is one of the leading killers, especially among women. It's a silent killer and a leading killer. And how to make your heart fit? I think this is one of the message which I think you have to put across to everybody. How would you identify whether your heart is fit if you're not taking any other medication which is slowing down your heart rate? So in this case, you just need to check your pulse. Early morning as soon as you get up, just check the resting pulse on the radial artery. Take it for 1 full minute. Take it on 3 consecutive days. Today is 13. Take on 14, 15, 16. Check for your resting pulse. And I said radial artery. Hope you can see the picture. I just assume I have taken, anyway, mine has come down below 60. It's about 58 right now, trying to work out. So anyway, assume it is 75. If it is 75, just walk for half an hour. If you've already been walking for half an hour, you try walking for maybe 35 minutes. Now you walk for a month. If I have taken the pulse and it is 75 right now, in the month of April 14th, again, I should check my pulse after 1 month of walking. My pulse rate would come down to 74. Again, I continue. This is only resting pulse. Do not take and multiply. Take it for 1 full minute. I continue this. It may come down to 73. And I can take April, May, June, July. So have a health book. And then you'll find that initially it will come down faster, later take time, because you need to have some sort of intensity where a threshold to work upon. And you'll find that heart is also trainable. So usually it is at 10,000 steps a day. I say even 50 steps would be wise enough. It's not mandatory to go for 10,000 steps a day. Below 60, good heart. So anyway, don't compare with this. Try to slowly come down. What you get slowly will remain with you for a longer period of time. This is what your resting pulse. Low resting pulse indicates better fitness as compared to higher resting pulse. For example, if you are unfit, you just climb a flight of stairs, you'll find, you're gasping, you're panting. But after 6 months of workout, you won't know how did you reach the top. Okay, so I recommend a pair of shoes. I always say, some say it's good to walk bare feet, but I would recommend a pair of shoes because one is of the shoes, what is important is the sole of the shoes as well as the arch to be protected and a cushioning effect, because so that our feet is protected. Remember, when we talk of our legs, it's very important to take care of it, and especially the footwear. Invest in a good footwear. Have you ever thought how much our foot is working? What all is our foot doing for us? What are we giving it in return? Because once a while, have a massage of the feet. I think it's required. We need to express gratitude. Aerobics or do any, what is aerobics? Any activity you do over a period of time can be called aerobics. Walking, jogging, cycling, aerobics, anything that you do. That is aerobics. Now, another indicator which you can do is after doing, for example, you walked for maybe half an hour. Again, you need to check the pulse. But now we check the pulse just under your neck, which is known as carotid artery. You take it for 6 seconds and multiply by 10. But after 5 minutes of exercise, again you take the pulse. If your pulse had reached 130 beats, you take it after 5 minutes, it has to come down, at least by few beats. If you find it is still remaining in 125, observe 2-3 times, then it's not a healthy sign. You may have to consult a doctor. The study again has come in because now when we talk of this, now doctors don't recommend bed rest. Hope you all know, like when people go to space, what are the changes which happens when they come back to the earth? The amount of time that they happen to spend in space, there is loss of body weight, loss of muscle mass, loss of bone mineral density equal to bed rest on earth. So it's very important. So they say, give rest to the part that needs rest. If it's a total bed rest, is fine. But if a part can be moving, if the muscles can remain contracted, it's much better. So bed rest is something which can actually do a lot of damages. How strong are your muscles and bones? Because I gave you walking and the food for the heart. So now on a key food for the heart, and the food for the heart is aerobic exercise. I think in some cases the heart is starving, but one fine day it says, I think I've lost its patience, I can't. That's how you get a heart attack. How strong are muscles and bones? Again, check out, especially with women. It's very important to say. Okay, look at the picture here. And when you look at this one side of the picture, you'll find that the bone, there's a lot of gap in one. And the other one, you find it's full. So it's a healthy bone and the osteoporotic bone. Now, what is the problem? I teach exercise physiology, and I know what is the problem I'm going to encounter. One of the major problems is being a woman, it is inevitable. Like they talk of osteopathy, every woman are going to have it. You just go to the hospital within 45 and 55. How many of the women had a slip and fall resulting in a fracture? You would find maximum would be women. And when you talk of this osteoporotic bone, there is no cure, there is no treatment. Doctor would say, do not touch that part. And this, it's a silent one. And usually it's with menopause that comes in. So it's very important as a girl child to advocate good calcium-rich food, and the calcium absorption is the presence of vitamin D. And nowadays, I think when you happen to see vitamin D deficiency is very prominent. So can you imagine about this? So it's very important to give and have bone loading exercise so that you can challenge this problem, because it's inevitable. Every woman are going to have it. Maximum what we can do is we can push it a bit ahead. Coming to most common sites, and I insist a lot, posture, have a good posture, and look at the bones. If you look at this was osteopenia. Even if you look at the male also, they say at the age of 20, you get the maximum peak bone mass. But what happens? Lack of bone loading at a particular age. With aging, changes do come in. But at times what happens is because of lack of use, the aging is much faster. That results in osteopenia. What are the bone loading exercise? You can take small water bottles, fill a bit with sand. You have a lot of other body resistance exercise. But you talk of the women, I find is, men, you're lucky because of the male hormone, you are blessed. But think of the women, when we talk of this, especially with the menopause, which is going to come in. So in that case, you'll have to start doing extra workout, and especially upper body is very weak, especially arms are very weak because of the mechanization. Huge ones were at home. Now our men can't shift it. How strong the women's earlier. Now we go with light touch. You don't even need to touch. I think the time will come, you stand, everything will start working all by itself. We don't need to chew food. Everything is going to become mechanical. Can you imagine what's going to happen to our body? So it's going to be too much of damage. So it's time that we have to start. If we get back to good old days, the problem would be solved. I also would say, how one should fall. You should learn how to fall, because very important. Look at this case, a man. You don't find a fracture. Look at this. Fracture is very common among women, and especially they just fall. So I think it's very, an athlete or a sportsman, when they fall, they roll. So it's important to learn how to fall. And nowadays we beautify a house to such an extent. It's very beautiful with all this fortified tiles. A drop of water which falls on the tiles you may not see. There were 2 deaths which occurred. In a series where the mother ran to take the umbrella. She just slipped and fell and she hit her head. So usually I give an aerobic session and I make the move, walk forward, walk back. But I especially say, when you walk back, keep your body weight in the front so that you never fall with hitting your head. That's again important. So it's important to train ourselves. How flexible are you? Are you like a stick that if you bend, there'll be a pull or a stretch? So when you get up early morning, how do you feel your body? Do you find the body stiff, some tightness behind? That means it is time that you need to take care. So do asanas, yogasana. Yogasana is very good. You need to do stretching and flexibility exercises. Obviously, yoga is important. So you can practice that. That by which I we can minimize the number of risks and injuries to our body. How's your body composition? For the past maybe around 30 years since I'm in the college, I've been paying 53, 54 kg weight. I need not be very happy about it, because earlier I had good muscle weight, I had bone weight. Now my muscle weight and bone weight has decreased, but my fat weight has decreased, but my overall total weight is the same. So people go with height weight chart. So besides that, you have the fat. And where do you find the fat? Fat is just underlying the skin. We call it subcutaneous fat. So also just once a while, see whether you have any fat fold. How is it possible to minimize onto the fat? So even if a person looks obese, but he has got muscle mass, more muscle mass and fat, that body is much better than a thin body. And also I'd say about the waist circle, the most important part of the core area is the stomach area. So at least trim down your waist. So for women, we say below 35 inches so that you can be heart protected. Men above 40 inches. Sorry, below 40 inches. Below 40 inches for men. When I see a man with a pot belly, I say you might have a heart attack. Is the first thing I say. Maybe that by then the person will start taking some initiative. So I said this is a very important thing, because you have a higher risk of atherosclerosis, clogging in the coronary arteries when the fat on the abdominal fat is more. I think we get angry because I'm talking about wellness. How when you ever get angry? If you get angry, what you do? You scream, you yell, whatever we do. Last time was some said, I yell, I shout, I bang, I beat. So when we do all this, remember one thing is when we start, when we are excited or emotionally, when we get very high, in all this case, there are a lot of hormones which release within us, which are actually damaging for us. So next time when each one, I would always suggest, imagine that we have a child within us. Protect our child. Do not harm our child. Respect our body. Do not abuse it. So when I talk of emotional, they're getting angry because of some external affairs, nothing their own self. And never have a blame. There's nothing like a problem. It is only a situation. So it's important to understand that. So next time when you get angry, taking a deep breath first. A deep breath. For a fraction of a second, don't react. If possible, count 10, 9, just 2, 3 counts you just give. And then in whichever way you want, you can speak, but by then the intensity will slightly come down. The next time you start, once we start training and practicing, it's possible. It's very much possible to train ourselves, because why should we damage ourselves for somebody else? I think it's important for that. And then another fact I would say, never expect anybody to say something always good to us. We always expect a no. So always be prepared for that. And anything happens, take that as an opportunity rather than as a negative aspect. That's another important thing. So when you have stress, it's important you try relaxation. I practice breathing. Deep breathing, count down, calm down. I do sing. Breathing techniques are very effective. And I sing for myself. I don't sing for anybody. So usually people put a headset. I am onto something. I chat and sing. People think I'm crazy, but at that particular time, I have no other thoughts coming into my mind. It really helps me. So I think it's important. I get a rhythm within myself. That's really nice. Mental health. How mentally alert you are. Whatever I'm saying, are you able to listen? It's not just listening by the ears. It's something where you're able to comprehend what is said. So if I put up a question right now, how much is 9 plus 7 plus 6? Anyway, I can't see the chat box unlike the Zoom. So I don't know how many of you have answered. When I put the same question to my students, you take a calculator. Madam, how much is 2 plus 3? Earlier, mental mathematics was very fast. If you have elders at home, please do practice this. Give them, like playing of Sudoku, make them write a page, because there are certain fine motor movements tend to decline. And this can actually prevent from a number of problems, such as we talk of maybe dementia or other illness. So if you want, it's much better that we can make them active, and for that, for mental health is very much required. How about socially? Recently, as I said, we have a PE program, and if you happen to see our program in the evening, there are people from across 4 to 5 countries every day coming as a panelist in the evening, and when we meet, we express, and we have a high five. It's so much of a fun time that we have. I think the same is the case when we all meet, or you at home, mother, father, children. I think it's important. Maybe COVID say, and if you have grandparents, please give a hug to the parents, grandparents. Teach our children to express love. I just quote you one. I did a course on aging and physical activity when I was in Canada, and 60 plus all reached. Most of them reached the home for the aged. So I carried some biscuit packet and I went to them. Went to this lady, and the first thing that she does is she keeps the packet away and she holds my hand. She holds my hand for some time. I don't know. I really felt so bad because she wanted to get the feel of touch, human touch. Can you imagine these people craving for this touch? And I think that's very important. So I was just thinking that people don't see human, or people, they can't see people around them. The people are less, unlike what we have in India. So I think this is very important to have this. So we have to teach our children to express love, and hug can be therapeutic. I have experienced that practically. How about laughter? I think laughter is the best medicine. Again, I was in Canada, I say 90 plus, 100 plus are the ones who come for exercise. In Germany, 100 plus come for exercise. And here, when I was there, they have a big clock. First thing, come and take the resting class, because when you work out, your heart rate has to reach. All of them would be with shoes. People with the heart problems and ailments are working with a normal group. Osteoporotic with a separate group. People with breathing problems came with they used to have tubes and cylinders and come for an exercise. So I was shocked. I was thinking in India they would be on the bed waiting for death, but here I think it was very different. And wherever they sit, they would have a hearty laughter, and that's one of the best medicine. Wherever they would sit. So I think it's have at home a hearty laughter, because that's one of the best medicine. And I think you can see this laughter, what magic it is, irrespective of age. For anybody, it is so nice. Spiritually, making life more meaningful. It's not just going to temple and church, never hurt anybody. And I think it's important to help people. I think a lot of things which maybe you're much better off. And now the recent focus. Sitting is a new disease. Sitting is equal to smoking of a cigarette, especially if you take with more than 20 minutes of sitting at a time. So this after every, I have given these tips to many. So some have kept alarm. After every 20 minutes, they get up and just walk around. And even if you sit and stand up 5 times, after 30 minutes, good enough, because this can prevent you from a number of problems. So sitting is the new disease, and they're all do we sit. I don't think, and posture, I insist a lot on posture. Having a good posture, standing tall, sitting tall can help a lot. And number of ailments, for example, cervical, lumbar problems, or even the shoulder problem occur because of improper posture. And that is a mannerism that we happen to have. I don't think I'm going to discuss about this. You can have a good sleep. Sleep is something very important, and I can tell you, exercise induces sleep. There are certain neurotransmitters that induce sleep, but the same is the case what exercise does. For me, I see the bed and I'm off to sleep. Maybe afternoon 5 minutes of nap required so that I can again be fresh. But I think it does wonders. For example, look at the railway station. People lying on the ground instead of sleeping. Don't think that the sleep is a blessing. You're sleeping. You're trying to sleep on a cushion mattress. You turn up here and there. At times you may not get sleep. There are people who take in sleeping pills to get sleep. And never underestimate the importance of sleep. Because 7 to 8 hours of sleep, early to bed, early to rise, late to bed, late to rise, not early to rise. Anyway, I won't talk much now. I think I should rush further. Phelps. This is Phelps, Michael Phelps, the great swimmer, Australian, who brought in a number of Olympic medals. Until the age of 9, he was hyperactive, was taking medications. He could not stay focused in studies. It is only through a nurse used to bring in medicine to the class. So he didn't want to take the medicines anymore. It's his mother who took the initiative through swimming, could get rid of the medication, and secondly, could stay focused in studies, and see where is Phelps today. I'm happy most of you are talking about importance of physical education, but most of the parents who tell the children, come on, you study. Once they're tired, they say, go and play. I think a time will come where the parents say, I think you want to play so you can study smarter than harder, because you've seen this, after 20 minutes of walk, the hippocampus area is actually increased. Know your numbers, important, as the sir was telling. Know your numbers, it's very important to know. Do you know what your blood pressure is? Do you know your lipid profile, your triglyceride, HDL, LDL? HDL is considered to be good cholesterol, LDL a bad cholesterol. What is your BMI? What is your waist circumference? What is your blood sugar level? So you take about that and find out exercise. I'm not going to talk. Yes, this is again important. Diet is a very important thing. We are what we eat. Food can heal, food can damage. 50% of the problem can be solved if you minimize onto the sugar. The state of Kerala, I think sugar intake is comparatively much lesser. But salt, I'll tell you, go to the market, everything is salted. Never buy anything which is salted. Valampuli, tamarind, making rasam and all, you can minimize onto that. And never skip your breakfast. Have a mindful eating, because today, if you had your breakfast, how much time you took, when did you take, how did you take, everything matters a lot. So it's a mindful eating. Are you watching TV and eating? Because it's very simple. You see something which is exciting, and when you eat, the digestion process will be affected. Are you eating for food? For whom are you eating? Actually, they're eating food for one's own body energy. So take it as something which is ceremonial. You think of what our tradition was. How were we eating traditionally? It was very different. It's very important to change this and come into mindful eating. Same with the thoughts coming into your mind. It is not to do with the diet. It's very important. So when there is anything, remember, there's absolutely have patience, have no fear. My message to everyone, especially to the women, have no fear, because have no anger, because fear, anger, once they take over you, they're the ones who decide upon, and you should be the one who's controlling everything. That's again important. So never eat what we only eat what relations are based taste, but have a good gut, which is very important. How active are you? What is that you can do without strain? How are you changing? How much in length? How flexible are you? How strong are you? All these have questions, lot of questions. I'm talking especially for the women. Every day we make choices to help to protect ourselves, yourself and your family. In fact, protecting yourself becomes a secondary thing. And for example, we have in a session I heard this in the flight when you attend. They say the air hostess gives us tips. You know, like if the oxygen level comes down, you need to put on the mask. So the first day they put on the mask onto yourself, and then you help the others. So putting on to oneself is doesn't mean that it's selfish. So it's again important for us. Only if you are healthy, you are productive, can you contribute for family. So again, it's important to understand this. So invest in your body in terms of food. Never compromise with food. Spend money for food. Never compromise with exercise, because when I say exercise, people say there's no time. It's only 24 hours, there's no time. Never compromise with sleep and never compromise with enjoyment. Live in the present. Enjoy every second of ours. And especially for the women, I'd say it's a wake-up call. Even if it's 24 hours, keep 1 hour. We all save for the future wealth, am I right? So everybody are building a huge, accumulating assets. For what purpose? In the end, you really enjoy that. Are we sure we're going to have that health to enjoy the wealth? That's again an important thing. So, be human. Wishing all good health and thank you so much. Let's stop this. Yeah. Thank you.
That was really great, and thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge with us. It was indeed a privilege to listen to your words. So, dear participants, the session is now open for discussion. You may post your questions on the comment box, or you can unmute and ask directly.
No questions?
Ma'am,
No,
we have
hi,
got a
ma'am.
question.
There is a question in the chat box.
Okay, chat
It's
box.
from Miss Doma. She just need
Doma,
your suggestion.
hi, I'm so happy to hear Doma. I hope she asks herself. She should come onto the screen and ask me instead of putting it in the chat box. I love her. She's one of my favorite too. Okay, so Doma is not coming into us. Can you read out the chat box? I don't know, because I'm so much used to Zoom. Chat box.
Ma'am, she has some
Yes,
network issue.
got
So
it,
that's
got
why
it.
she has.
Just usually in gym there are suggesting proteins for middle-aged women. Doma, no. Please do not go for supplements. Do not go for protein. I mean, until the doctor gives a protein powder, do not go into anything which is try to take it from the natural form. And for the middle-aged women, give a protein is less because the muscle mass is less. Do not take it. It's not recommended. Not recommended. So hope that is clear. Please try to take it from the right kind of food nutrients. Whatever we get, Greek leafy vegetables, we have to take from that. Have egg is good. Find what is protein rich. Okay, in terms of food, I'd always say nuts, badam, walnut. Badam you can soak in water, then you can just feed and have it. Walnut, women should be having it. Flaxseed is again good. Something which is good for women. And protein, I would say take it from, if you're vegetarian or non-veg, egg also, try to take it from direct food, but minimize on to taking any other protein powder until the doctor recommends. Because it's important is nowadays you come across with the keto diet and protein, a lot of things are coming. People all go with looks. So please do not play with one's own body. It's very important for people to understand. It's our body. Do not give to anybody else for that. That's again important.
Ma'am, if I may
Yeah,
ask one
hi.
question.
Hi, Raman. Dr. Raman.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Nice to
evening.
see the energetic presentation. We get so much of power, like the confidence moment we hear your speech and lecture.
Thank you, Dr. Raman.
My question also revolves around this. I have a few of my friends. I tell them about the good things of physical activities. When we tell to them, they are very motivated and they're very happy. Yes, mujhe pata hai, aisa, waisa, and all that. But when it actually comes to doing, No, there's something now. Then they just try to put off and procrastinate, or they just like no, they're not willing to take it up. So, what can we do to strategize people who are little aged? I'm not telling about school children, people who are like 35, 40, to motivate them to take the first step towards exercise. I'm sure after they do for some time, they will be happy and motivated. But to get them going, first thing they feel is if they do exercise, they will get injury. This I feel that what will happen if I start, my leg is paining, my body is paining. They give this as a very silliest of excuses. So, is there any strategy we can use to motivate such kind of people, especially the middle-aged people, to start up?
Thanks, Dr. Ram. Nice seeing you too. But the thing is, I tried this because I tried. We had a presentation by Dr. Victor from Brazil. So I promised him I'm going to start in my in our office. I started a workout for our employees, women employees. And then I just said, come on, I think because one of the people complained of a body ache and pain. So I felt, I said, I want to try this aerobics. It was just aerobics. You won't believe, now it's 2 months past, just 2 days of exercise. After 2 days exercise, then we had 1 or 2 sessions in Zoom. Now they are continuing all by themselves. I could manage this with the women. He has lost 2 kg weight. They're so smart now. I think they just run around everywhere. They have experience. So I think it started off. But we also, but the initial stages, yes, initial stages, once willingness, because people say, why? Because I also do exercise. It's not easy. It's not easy because it's tiring. So people want a shortcut without doing anything. Can I get a pill in which I can get the effect of exercise? What people are looking for. It's more of a comfort. I think we have to come out of the comfort zone. And I think, like I was asking people from Germany, others, they said, no, we should stop giving advice. I was saying during breast cancer day, awareness day, we had few doctors. I told the doctor, when the doctor says you walk, they'll walk. When we tell them to do it, they would not do it. So I also have the same experience as you, but now I'm so happy. A lot of people changed. And today nearly 1,200 teachers from across the country took part in the aerobics for 1 hour. So I'm so happy about it. Out of 10,000. Can you imagine? Out of 10,000, only 1,001. So still, it is good start.
Really, ma'am. Unbelievable.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, we have got another question in the chat box. As you have already mentioned about the importance of breakfast, when's the apt time for having our breakfast? It's from Bhagya Suresh.
Yeah. Bhagya Suresh, actually, they say, usually you should have a time, like, because there are certain, when we talk of the enzymes release, they say between 7 to 8 in the morning, it should not be delayed much. But at times it may not be feasible, practically possible. But in spite of all that, if you can have timely regularity in having our food, the food regularity and giving a time. For example, when I ask how much, what time, and how much time to eat your breakfast also matters. So if you can set a time, like you said, 8:30 or 9, if you can have, at least give about 15 to 20 minutes if you can sit and eat slowly. That will be much better than gulping in something and rushing. Because recently I had a talk, and many a time, especially the lunch time, because of official matters I've seen here, even I saw in the university, 2, 3, 3:30, 4. This is the most damaging thing that can happen. Understand this. I think irregular eating habits is one of the most damaging things which can happen to one's own body. So please do not do that. Wherever you at least we eat a plantain. Do something. Don't have a full-fledged meal. But the particular time, maintain the regularity in eating. That is much more. But there is a specific time. Like I say, morning you can say 7 to 8, but it may not be possible. I have, because of my routine, that is there. But then you have your lunch, but don't make it too late. But supper, anybody who's interested in weight loss, before 5, eat anything heavy. But after 5, reduce onto it. On an average, I'd say by 7:38, by 7:38, finish your supper and dinner. 4 to 5 hours of gap between your sleep and your dinner, which is required. So that can actually help. So that's about the time for breakfast. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So you eat? How much of time you took to eat your breakfast in the morning?
Usually 10 to 15 minutes.
Good. So what I find across, many a time, especially women, the time for taking bath and then getting ready Takes almost half an hour, 45 minutes. Just understand this. So whatever, remember one thing in the body, whatever is external, you talk of gold, clothing, everything will go away. Remember, what only can remain with us is our body. Understand this. That's the most. And what you do today, you will see the fruit of it tomorrow. If you do severe dieting today, it's going to have a definite effect at the later stage. So that's another. Okay, another query by Jishnu Panikar. Again, can I practice body weight exercise? Body weight is resistance exercise. Why not? At the age of for anybody, no issues at all. Exercise is not a problem. Jishnu, not at all a problem. You can have a body weight exercise, but remember, be progressive, learn the basics. And many a time, what happens as a sort of injury, improper way of exercising. Like when I do an aerobic session, it is very intensive, but I make it a point to have a proper stretching and doing the right way so that it will not have an effect. Otherwise, 2 days will do heavy thing and then come down. There was something on the newspaper where I found was maybe last year, somebody did about 800, more than 100 or 600 sit-ups, and then it resulted in kidney problems, usually never seen by that. So people try doing too much. Please understand what you want to do. Go very progressive. A person who can't take 10 steps, take 2 steps, no problem. Go very progressive, and that can help you, and it will remain with you longer. If you have no past experience of exercise, absolutely no problem. Go progressive. Don't go for straight away body weight. Prepare your body in such a manner that the very progressive way you can do it. Yeah. I'm happy about it. And Unnikrishnan sir is going to make it a point of having to start, or Arya should start exercise and medicine on campus. Get the entire group smarter, active, and it's going to get you abundant energy. And I'm so happy, like Arya, I'm so happy because proud of you. You get the president, you get the presidential letters. I'm proud of you. And you're so lucky to have a Principal Unnikrishnan sir, Jay Kumar sir, Anil sir, and Parmeshwaran sir. You're very lucky because their blessings is helping you. That's great. Keep it up.
Namaste, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am, just like we named adapted physical education, can we name this particular section, particular name to this section?
Such as?
Right now, I have no suggestions, but
No. Exercises, as you said, adapted. Exercises medicine is a new concept just coming. The whole thing is coming as it is. If you Google and search, it's there. They've got a whole set of things which is coming into it. And they are putting it across in various places so that they can minimize the risk of, to increase the health, to reduce the health cost. They have brought in as an exercise, and exercise as medicine. Exercise is medicine, is what is coming.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. And Akhil, it was wonderful having you. You're great. You're doing great.
Thank you, ma'am.
So who's Akhil, by the way?
Ma'am, I'm a second year PG English student from ST College.
Wow, you're great. So wish you all the very best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
It's excellent. It's nice.
Thank you, ma'am. So I think there's no more questions. And thank you, everyone, for such a fruitful discussion. Now I invite Ms. Neeta Prasad, Assistant Professor at Department of English, to express a token of gratitude. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Akhil. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I feel greatly honored to offer the vote of thanks today for each and everyone who is part of this endeavor. It's with great pleasure that I thank our resource person, Dr. Usha S. Nair, for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion with her invaluable words of wisdom. It was indeed a highly enlightening session, ma'am, and it has benefited us a lot. On behalf of each and everyone present here, I thank you, ma'am. We really look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Neeta. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I thank the Honorable Principal of ST College, Dr. P.R. Unnikrishna Pillai sir, for his indomitable support and for the inaugural address of today. Thank you, sir, on behalf of each and everyone present here. Next, I thank our respected Vice Principal Dr. T.R. Anil Kumar sir for blessing the occasion with his words of support and inspiration. Thank you, sir. I now thank Dr. P.S. Parameswaran, IQAC Coordinator of ST College. Dr. P.S. Parameswaran has always been integral to all the new steps that our college takes. Thank you, sir. I now thank Dr. S. Ajay Kumar, Senate Member, University of Kerala, for his invaluable presence. I thank Mrs. Arya S., convener of this seminar and head of the Department of Physical Education. It is her enthusiasm and passion towards her arena that gets reflected in all the programs she organizes. Thank you, Ms. Arya. And I thank Akhil for his wonderful comparing. And I thank all of you who are present here to listen to this wonderful talk. Thank you all once again.
So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So by this, we conclude our session. Participant, please make sure that you fill the feedback form. The link is already given in the chat box. Once again, thank you all for your time and being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm indeed happy, delighted. Thank you. Thank you so much.